What's up, guys? Welcome to the podcast Extra. You got me here, Cyforce, and we have
Hey.
A Harley Quinn.
I would say, wait, hold on. When you said we have me here, Cyforce, why did I go, hey, Cyforce?
I don't know. I thought you were gonna say my name is Hey. That's what I was thinking. But yeah, we're here for the podcast Extra. I hope you guys tuned in to when the podcast was up live. Sorry for that reverb. Should I just be honest? Should I just be upfront and honest about the podcast and what I thought of it?
I mean, is that not?
I will not. I will allow you to bring in all the topics, Harley. What are we talking about today?
Well, first, let me say Happy Pride, guys. I still got 2 days, so I'm gonna be as gay as ever. So Happy Pride. Let me see what else. What else I missed? Something else. Oh, I haven't seen you guys in like a month. Hold on, my picture going.
Big facts, big facts. Oh, my bad. That's me. I messed up the Discord image.
I was like, Cyforce, don't just take me out like that.
I'm so sorry.
Why would you do that to me?
I'm
so
people
sorry. Have to see. I put on makeup for this, okay?
I damn sure did not. I woke up like this. I just roll out of bed with my knickknacks, brush my teeth, wash my face, made a little bit of breakfast, and here I am. How y'all doing?
I'm doing great. How is chat doing today? Like, we missed you guys. It's been a while.
It's been a whole month. Should we catch them up as to what we've been up to this month?
Yes, let's do that. You want me to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, as you guys know, this month has been like fairly busy for Harley. I was accepted I won the 1000 Dreams Fund grant, and I went to Vegas.
Nice. What is that grant? What does that grant do?
So the grant is basically what it does is it's trying to bridge the gap between women in esports and the men that's already in esports. Ooh. And trying to basically like give us the tools that we need to, hey Kev, give us the tool that we need to like, get into the industry, stuff that we normally wouldn't be able to.
Who's hiring?
Hopefully everybody, because Harley is looking for a job.
For real. Same here, Cyforce too.
Hold on, let me change it. I'm looking for a career. I don't want a job anymore. I want a career.
Big facts. We gotta change that mindset.
So they gave us some money to fix up stream and stuff. Gave us a really cool mic from HyperX, headset from HyperX, some speakers from JBL and Harman. They set us up. But the biggest thing was they sent us to Vegas to visit HyperX Esports Arena at the Luxor.
Yeah.
And when I mean it was amazing.
How many people can it see?
So it was 4 of us there, and we were there doing a Friday night frags, which is like their Fortnite tournament. Mm-hmm. And so it was packed, but not only that, they streamed the whole thing. So we had folks from their stream like watching us. It was really cool. So we started off the day. They gave us the whole tour of the arena, which it looks amazing. It's so nice. They gave us some mentorship lectures. So I got to talk to one of the head people at HyperX. I got to talk to one of the head people over the esports arena. One lady from HyperX that deals with like their player relations, like basically just talk to them, pick their brains, and network a little bit with them. So to me, that was like the biggest thing, like just being in the room with people that could potentially like see my potential instead of like just looking at my resume and not seeing me. Like that right there was amazing.
Potential is better than no potential.
Thank you, right? So we did that, and then at the end, we got to actually work behind the scenes for the production of Friday Night Frags. So one of the girls that was with me, her name is Absolute Sodium. She's a semi-pro Overwatch player. She actually got to cast with the casters for the event. I should have did it, but I know absolute jack shit about Fortnite, and I'm not about to embarrass myself. Unprepared. I should have did it though, but I was like, if this was Overwatch or even like Rainbow Six, I know a little bit of jargon. Fortnite, I know jack shit.
You don't gotta know too much. All you gotta do is just see what you see and comment on it.
No, I would have been like, so he's building. They're shooting down his walls. Why are they doing that? That's what she said. I would have been weird, so fucking weird. Like I am already a weird person. I would have been weird Cyforce.
Nah, you gotta have confidence. That's what they brought you there for, so you can, be yourself.
I had enough confidence to know that I shouldn't got my ass in that chair.
Alright. I respect that.
But I did get a chance to like work behind with the production team, so like seeing how they cut to commercials or seeing like which camera they wanted to work with and stuff like that. The coolest part though, I got to go down the hype tunnel when they took us on stage. I'm so nerdy. Guess what I did?
What'd you do?
So they asked us to like try to like liven it up when we come down the tunnel because people only walk. My nerd butt did the finger guns.
Oh man. Did you at least have some music?
Yeah, I had music.
What did you go down to?
I don't even know. I think it was just like some EDM dance something. It was just some mix. It wasn't like...
Oh man.
I did the finger guns, Cyforce. Oh my god.
You could have walked through the tunnel. You could have walked through the tunnel with the bat playing Beyonce's Lemonade. What that song called?
See, now if they would have did that,
They Don't Love You Like I Love You. That'd have been hot.
If they would have told me, give me your theme song. I would have came down to You Make Me Happy. I would have came down to that, but I don't know what they were playing. So now I was just trying not to be like, let me not be stiff. Let me just come down here. And my nerdy self just went out there and was like, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. I'm sure other people had it way worse than you did.
Probably not.
I hope.
No. Thank you for making me feel bad.
I hope. So, chat, if you guys were to walk down the aisle through a tunnel, like they're calling your name, KKS Gaming, Honey Coco, Temptress Tila, what would your theme song be? What would your theme song be as you burst out into the scene and all the crowd is cheering your name, Temptress Tila? What would your theme song be? I know back in the day when I was an RA and I was introduced to my residents, I came out to Already Home by Jay-Z and Kid Cudi. That song was fire. But I don't know what I'll walk up to right now.
I like Kev's Here Come the Hot Stepper. I like that one.
Yeah.
Thinking I did the Elaine from Seinfeld. Y'all so right. I think the video is still up. It's on HyperX's Twitch vibes if y'all want to go see me make a fool of myself. Yeah.
So speaking of updates, I don't even know the last time I streamed. I think the last time I streamed was for the Cookout when what did we do? We did like a fundraiser for some sickness. Wow.
No.
That's terrible. Well, we did a fundraiser for something. We did a fundraiser to find a cure for something. I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was cancer. Maybe it was St. Jude's.
What was it? I think it was St. Jude's.
I think it was St. Jude's too. Let me lower the camera just a little bit.
You know what? That's a good thing. That means you do so many fundraisers that you can't even remember.
Exactly. I can't remember who. I'm just throwing money out. It's just a charity right now. Well, it literally is a charity. We raise money for a charity. I just remember Tila saying that her son was laughing like crazy when I was playing Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, but that might have been in May. Yeah. And it is June 29th, so it's been...
Tila said it was for St. Jude.
St. Jude's, there we go. It's been a full month. It's been a full month since I last streamed. And it's been hectic. Like, in that month from when I last streamed till today, I moved. I've been had a new job, but I moved. I moved, like, across town from another city 60 miles away. I had to pack and unpack. And I got a new car. And I've been doing, like, 60 hours a week overtime, so... It's been nice to be able to, have life settle down.
Yeah.
Get my thoughts together, get everything together, and be able to come back online and be back here with you guys and share our thoughts. And boy, do we have a lot of thoughts to share.
We do. Well, speaking, I just want to touch a little bit, because you know how you say getting your mind together and stuff like that. I do want to touch a little bit on, what's his name again? I can't pronounce it.
Etika.
But the streamer that passed. Guys, mental health is such a big, thing that we have to take care of. You take care of your body physically, you have to make sure you take care of your body mentally. Personally, I don't know if you guys been following my Twitter, but Harley's been going through it mentally and emotionally and just all the stuff. But after seeing the support and love from his passing, I personally don't know him, I never watched one of his streams, but just seeing that love and support, make sure you guys are giving that out before it gets this far,
Facts.
So yeah, before it gets any farther, or I don't know. I just know from Harley's point of view, if some certain people haven't reached out to me during these past weeks, y'all, there's no telling what, it's been bad. So I just wanted to point that out and just let y'all know that mental health is a really big thing, especially in the Black community, because we've been growing up learning how to push it under a rug, growing up, you're not sad, everybody's sad. It just make sure you take care of your mental, check up on your strong friends, check up on your not so strong friends, and just love each other a little bit more. That's really it.
Yeah, it goes deeper than that. It goes so much deeper than that, if you don't mind. I know when I heard the news, I was on, well, I don't want to say where I was because, I'm trying to keep my job. But I saw on Twitter that he had passed away, and like that, I had to pause for him, but like, oh shit, this is like the wrong thing to say, but my first thought was he actually did it, but he finally did it. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Etika at all. Like I see a couple of videos back in the day, like the early 2010s. Yeah, and he always had like these crazy videos, or like he would react like really strongly to Nintendo Directs, and people loved it. But then like the videos after that that I would see of him that would go popular is just like Etika has disappeared, Etika has done this, Etika has done that, and it all signaled to him, being super depressed and suicidal. And right after I saw on the news on Twitter that he had passed away, I heard from people on Twitter saying that like his last video showed that he was gonna do it. It's probably the video he did right before he did it, right before he probably, I think, jumped off of a bridge. And I watched it. I wouldn't recommend, if you're like a faint of heart or easily disturbed, I would not recommend you watch it, because when you're watching it, you can clearly see that he's ready. Like, he was like, yo, I'm not going to be able to see this anymore. I'm not going to see these people grow up anymore. I'm not going to see Attack on Titan. And, yo, the episode was wild that just happened. I'm not going to be able to see that anymore. And he was ready. He was absolutely ready. And, like, I would just hope that if I ever feel down, that people are not just throwing a suicide hotline prevention number at me. That people are not just saying, go get some help. That people... that they try their best to be the help that they can be, but honestly, there's only but so much you can do. And as you saw with him, he had so much love and support thrown his way. There's only so much you can do, and you kind of just have to accept it. If so, like a little bit of a tangent. Have you seen Black Mirror? A new season of Black Mirror just came out recently. It's like 4 episodes long.
I have not seen it yet, and I heard like the first 2 episodes were amazing.
Bruh. All right, so there's this episode. I'm about to spoil the shit out of this episode.
Wait.
So
okay, go.
No. Okay, all right. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'm gonna spoil the ending though. Like the ending is weird. So in this episode, he definitely needed professional help, but he needed a whole lot more than that. He needed some early intervention. So anyway, in this episode of Black Mirror, this guy, he is a former employee of this large company, and the company no, that's not what happened. He was in this car crash. He wasn't drunk driving. He got in his car crash texting while driving, and an accident happened where his wife ended up getting killed. And so the company is like Facebook, basically. He said in his mind, Facebook was so highly addictive that it made him always want to check his phone because the notifications had him so addicted. And he just wanted to tell the CEO that because of his addiction, he ended up checking his phone too much, and he crashed his car and his wife got killed. And he did this whole stunt where he kidnapped an employee, thinking he was like a top level director from the company, but really was just an intern. He kidnapped them so he can talk to the CEO. Anyway, at the end of the episode, like I said, he kidnapped the intern. So like the cops are surrounding his car, like about to shoot the hell out of him because he has a hostage. And at the end of the episode, the car gets shot up. And you don't know who dies. Like, that's not important. What's important is that people are seeing a notification on their phone saying there was a big shootout. Oh, hey, Jaleel Valor. Jaleel Valor, thank you for following. I cut my story right off. Get back in the mode. Okay, so the car gets shot up. It's not important what happens. What's important is that at the end of the episode, people are seeing on their phones, breaking news. Man who held this other man hostage got caught into a shootout with cops, and people are checking their phones, and then they're going about their day. And the whole point of that episode was to say that, the most important event of these two men's lives happened in this moment, and for everyone else, it's just a notification. It's just something that came by your phone, went in one ear, out the other. It's just a notification, and it's so insignificant to everyone else. And when I saw that Etika had passed away, like I was impacted. Like I was quiet for like 20 minutes, and I had a meeting immediately. I had a meeting, and I walked into the meeting. Everyone is super normal. They're trying to get things done, and I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, I can't. Like this really impacted me. I can't. But for everyone else, it's if I were to tell them, it's not even important. They're like, who is that? Okay, whatever. Let's get this. Let's get the job done. I'm like, I don't give a damn like about this right now. I need a moment. And so that really had an impact on me. His passing away.
Tila said that she said people forget we're not professionals and we're not equipped to handle that far-gone mental health, which is very true. And then she said, so I would give you the number to a hotline because I cannot help you if you are that far, and I'll make sure your fam would know too. And I agree. I mean, the hotline is helpful for people that's going to use it. I'll say that. I know growing up when I was younger, and I don't want to talk too much about this just because, you know, it's supposed to be about the podcast, and the podcast was actually a really good episode, so I don't want to glance over that. But I will say, I'm just going to end it with this. I will say, like, if you see the signs, no, I won't say know the signs, but you would know. If you see the signs, then reach out. And if you can't help, then find somebody that can. Because I was given the number, and I was given the phone number. I was given the suicide number, and I used it. You know, I called them, but at the same time, it was just like putting me in therapy. I'm going to tell you what I know you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then again, you can't help people who don't want to be helped. But I don't know where I wanted to say after that. That's it. We just go end that. Oh, yeah, y'all just check up on your friends.
Let's end there. I was going to say something, but it had everything to do with me and nothing about the podcast. So
yeah. So just check up on your friends, y'all.
And on that music transition, let's get to the podcast. So, what are some topics that we're going to cover today, Harley?
So, if you guys have not checked out the podcast, it is available on YouTube and also Spotify. It was actually pretty good. It was Tila, SG, Tiffany, who spice up your life. That's an inside joke if you haven't caught the podcast. And then also Queen Errol. And they had some really good topics today. The title of it was reparations, which, you know, Juneteenth just passed. So reparations is a big thing that people are talking about, especially since the Democratic candidates are the ones, I believe, that's bringing it up, and Tila can go back into that to make sure I'm correct. So first of all, Cyforce, like, what are your thoughts on the whole reparations?
I could always use a check. I'm not going to say it's for free, because definitely my ancestors paid for it way back in the day, but I could always use a check. I got student debt. I got my mama got some debt. My daddy got some debt, and we all black, so we can always use a check. But on the real though,
is that a hug, Tila, or are you? Oh, okay. I was like, is that a hug, or are you trying to jip me for my money? It looked like somebody jipping me from the back.
I'm gonna give you titty hugs,
it's a back hug. I should use word my my technology. Thank you for that hug. I love it. I'm sorry.
Well, definitely, like, everyone's going through something. Everybody's going through their own little thing, and it seems it's really impactful for them if it's not for everyone else. But we good though. We good. Pot Liquor, thank you for the follow.
Hey, thank you for that follow.
I feel the need to do the dance too. What was I saying? We were talking about reparations, right?
Look, I'm so nerdy. I don't even know how to Millie rock.
She wasn't really rocking either. Whatever that notification was, it was an attempt. She was just going, I thought I told you that we won't stop. But it was a good 90s dance.
Okay. I love that name.
Pot Liquor.
I mean, I love food. So.
Hey. Okay, reparations.
My bad. We all
reparations. So what is the question that you're asking? What's the question that you're throwing towards me?
So my question was, what are your thoughts on it? Do we need it? Do we not need it? Like, what are your thoughts on reparations as a whole?
Do we need it? Absolutely. I don't think you can have, like, it's like 400 years. Has it been the anniversary yet? Yeah, 400 years. I'll say 400 years from the time when the first slave came here in 1640 something, 1600s to you're
not gonna be tested on this.
Where we're going to in 2020. Yeah, I graduated high school, college a long time ago. I don't need to be too accurate on that start date, but this end date is still not even an end date. We still have mass incarceration going on for drugs that are legalized. We have debtor prisons and all kinds of things, and we've had plenty of intentional discriminatory laws put in place to keep groups of people, not even just black people, but I'm gonna talk about black people, but to keep groups of people down, we have to have intentional laws to bring us back up to where it is an even playing field and to where we all do have equal opportunity. So absolutely, I think reparations should be, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but we should have reparations. But what reparations look like, I don't think it can be cash. I don't, but it has to be something.
We owe China our firstborn kids. So.
Well, China taking over Africa anyway, so, but that's another story. But I don't think it can be cash. Like it's so muddied. Like it's been so long ago, and that if we're gonna go for just slavery, it can't be cash because there's no way to really calculate that. But there's other messed up things that have happened since slavery has taken place, which would be a little easier to account for. Like I know I'm only one generation removed from segregation. My dad was born in 1950. My mom was born in 1962, so I'm not that far removed from segregation at all. Even from slavery, I'm pretty sure that my I'll say great grandfather was a slave. So that's the 1860s, and like my family, we didn't really have kids young. Like my dad had me when I was 41, so the generations removed from slavery is not that far. But for other people, especially if they're of mixed race, black, white, and that black part was a slave, like. Do they get compensated the same if you compensating a family that is whole black? That's not the right word, but
think about that.
Yeah, it's really muddy when you talk about cash reparations. But there's other ways of policy that you can use as reparations. So, for example, if you were to prioritize all the marijuana selling permits to those people who are incarcerated for selling, I would say that is a step in the right direction for reparations.
Okay. Tila said we all need to learn Mandarin, especially in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I agree. Ni hao. That's about as far as my Mandarin goes. But you said something that kind of is on the lines of what I was thinking about reparations, because I personally have always thought reparations would be a check in the mail. You know how the old Baptist church.
We got that in the stimulus package in 2009. We already got that. And that got spent so quickly.
Who got that?
Yeah.
Not Harley. Harley didn't get that. But for me, like somebody, I can't remember exactly who it was in a podcast, but somebody said that reparations right now, I don't think it would help us, because back then when they ended slavery and they were going to give us our 40 acres and a mule, somebody said they already knew what to do with those 40 acres. You know, they knew what to do it. They knew how to tend to the earth. They knew how to grow. They knew how to make money or knew how to grow the stuff to make money. You know, right now, I don't know what that money would help us. Like, I want reparations, but I want them to educate before they give it to us. And it's because of, you know, the Reagan era and the war on drugs and shit like that. I'm afraid that we're going to get this money and they'll be like, all right, here you go. And it's going to go, you know?
Yeah,
like, that it will be no generational wealth.
Tila's saying in the chat that it would go to right back outside the community. I understand exactly what she's saying.
Exactly. The black, and that's where we got into that's where they got into like the black meccas, how we no longer have those anymore. Granted,
there's still Atlanta.
We did have. See, but Atlanta, and I'm from Atlanta. I live in Atlanta. Yeah. You know, and Atlanta is considered, you know, the Black South, the Hollywood of the South, you know, the Mecca of the South. But Atlanta is being so gentrified right now that it's not even a black dollar anymore. It's people coming into our areas, you know, and taking that dollar. So it's still dollars going out. Jermaine Place said, what about an education?
I was going to get right on top of that. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll let you go first. It's still your platform.
To that. I'm sorry. I was getting straight to that, Jermaine. I
Reparation
was
talking
that
talk. He's talking that talk.
Thing that they should give us reparation, free school. We should go to college free, because there's stuff that generationally we haven't been able to have because systems have been put in place to keep us down that other races get. So one of the reparations y'all can give us, send us to school free, send us to college. That way, when I come out of college and I get the degree that you tell me I'm supposed to get, I'm not sitting in debt. You know, like I'm in so much debt right now.
But so, all right.
Not even funny.
So I'm gonna say, send us to school where free? All right, are we going to HBCUs to keep the dollars in our own communities, or are we going to like Harvard, Yale, Cornell?
That's up to the person.
You say you would leave it to the individual? Okay.
I would leave it to the individual. You can't tell somebody where they want to go to school, because even if I wanted to go to, say, I'm in Atlanta, right? Mm-hmm. I never wanted to go to Spelman. Thinking of going to an all-girls school, being surrounded by that many females, was a fear for me. I couldn't do it. But, you know, if you tell me, hey, you got this money, you can go to any school you want to get any education, I'd have been like, bet, I'm going to Georgia Tech. Because I know if I go free, engineers make money. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or in the other school I applied to, I actually applied to and got into Yale, but I couldn't afford Yale. So then I had to settle for what I could afford. But if I had that, I would have went to my first choice, which was either Yale or the University of Alabama. Mm-hmm. But you have to give people those choices. Not everybody thrives at a HBCU, and that's just because of how we grew up. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just it. But that's not saying that when I come out of those schools, I don't come out with a better knowledge of where my money should go. My money will go back to Black, because that's what I know. You know?
Okay. Yes.
But now I have the education. And I don't want to sound racist, but I have their education to use it against them to put it back into my community.
I would argue our quote unquote our education is just as good, and there's been plenty.
No, it's great. Yeah.
There's plenty of people who graduated from historic Black colleges who are millionaires, billionaires plus.
Yes, Morehouse.
So the reason why I mentioned HBCUs is because they're struggling to maintain themselves by only having Black kids go to their school. So they're starting to allow more and more people from other races, more and more white wealthy people to come to their schools, so that way they can keep the schools afloat. That's why they've been begging Trump for money. Well, not really just begging Trump, but begging, you know, that's why they've been asking for more and more government grants so they can stay afloat. So if those government grants were used to put kids, Black kids like us, into those schools, and the government paying for the whole education, I think we're killing two birds with one stone.
The only thing for me with that is that almost seems like Black kids over here, white kids over here. You know, like it gets too close to that segregation line. That's why I said let the kids choose. Because I'm just one person. Harley's just one person. I know my sister wanted to go to Clark. You know, but Clark's a private HBCU. We can't afford it. So, I mean, if we had that reparation, then give kids that choice. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of kids that would choose to go to HBCUs, you know, but we have to give them that choice. That's just where I stand on that. Tila said, I think we would need financial education, stock knowledge, and yes, Tila, come through. Yes, stock investments. That's one of the things we are lacking in the Black community. But it's not lacking because we don't want to know. It's lacking because we don't know. You know, we don't know.
So I don't know how it was where everyone else grew up. And Yonkers, I think maybe like 1990. In the 1990s, there was a lawsuit brought forward to at least the Supreme Court in New York, arguing that the school system is still segregated because of the school zones that were created, and it was intentional to keep the wealthy white kids on one side of Yonkers and everyone else on the other side of Yonkers. So growing up, when I was at elementary school, middle school, up until high school, I had only went to school with Black and Hispanic kids, and it was all like I was only allowed to go to school in the hood nearest me, and that created a gap between, you know, those kids who were allowed to go to better schools and those who were not. I think so. In the chat that we were, and you hit on it too, that we were talking about education. That we have to be educated on what does it mean to own a house, what does it mean to own a business, what does it mean to own debt and be able to leverage it to build more wealth. What is interest rate? What is a stock? Like those are things that need to be, you know, taught to us. But I don't want to just limit it to us, because okay, if Black people if they get a step higher, if they get a step up, then like this, it seems like we're only going to care about Black people, and that leaves room for someone else to get put into that same shitty position that we were once in. And really, we need to eliminate it across the board.
I agree.
I'm struggling with just only giving Black people reparations when there's a bunch of groups of people who have been messed up too.
The only thing with that, and somebody else said, I think it was Queen Arrow that said this in the podcast, I don't know anybody else struggle. I only know mine. you know. So I don't know the struggle of the Hispanic or the Latino or the Latina community. I don't know the struggle of the Asian community. I don't know the struggle of any other person of color. I damn sure don't know the Native American struggle. I only know my struggle, and I only know what I think can help my struggle, and then maybe from helping my struggle I can then go out to help others, but I can't talk about it don't know about. And that's why I keep saying, you know, black, because I mean, that's all I know.
Facts. Big facts.
But like, so in the podcast, they went from talking about reparations, and I believe it was SG Tiffany, who that's again another inside joke. Y'all should really listen to the podcast. SG Tiffany, who said that one of the what's the word I'm looking for? One of the things you have to like
see before you die.
Yeah.
Seems like Megatron's taking over your computer.
No, it's one of the things that you have to have like checked off on the box before they can give you reparations is you have to prove that apparently somebody in your family was a slave.
Why though?
And I don't know. That was a question that was asked. I don't know. But to me, like, that somebody else said it in the podcast too. They was like, that's so hard because we, and as in some of us, we can't trace our lineage back to, you know, grandma twice removed or however that family tree works, you know? So
you can't. So as we were saying before, me and Harley were talking about this offline before we brought it here to the podcast. If you are in America, unlike any other country on this earth, in America, if you had one drop of black blood, if you look like you were black at all, then you were treated as a black person. Yep. So I'm not gonna say you're discriminated equally because we still got this whole colorism thing too, light versus dark when you are black.
Conversation for another day.
But like I said. The discrimination didn't go equally across all black people. So if you're I think the most thriving immigrants that come to this country are Nigerians, and they're black. They're treated as black people here, but because they're coming over as wealthier. My friends are wealthier immigrants. They have to step up in order to be able to make it here in this country. So I don't think it's even necessary to have to trace back were your family slaves, because the laws have been discriminative up until today, and even in the future the laws will continue to be discriminative. So like it has to be a whole system change on top of reparations when we talk about these policies. I
agree. Somebody else in chat said housing reparation, education. I know I'm missing chat because I every time I read chat I get thrown off, but somebody else said that, and I agree. Like, reparations isn't just give me a check. Like, reparations, you have to give me a way to change my lifestyle. You have to give me a way to actually be able to compete. And that's what I would want. Like, I want money. I need money. I'm in debt. I need the money. But I would gladly take the knowledge to be able to know how to manage this money so that whenever I have kids, if I do, another conversation. That is, you know, so that they can be set up, because this, again, I can only talk about the black community. There's this generational poverty that is just like inherited, you know, until somebody can break it.
So Jermaine said, I will take a stringless check in a second. I don't want it to be only a check. I want it to be just like, here, $500. There you go. Sorry for slavery. Like,
I don't want that. Like, because my thing is, you give me $500, I'm like, oh yes, fool. Bills.
No, that's not enough.
I'm still stuck in the same position that I was.
Yeah, the laws didn't change. The laws we're gonna be right back in the same situation. The laws didn't change at all.
Somebody said, judge me on my merit and my attitude, not my skin tone. Okay, MLK, come through. I'll take reparations, American Express gift card, Jermaine. I hate you.
Because, all right, so reparations, so if the argument against cash reparations, my argument against cash reparations, is something that'd be equivalent. When we look at the policing in America, when there's like a unarmed black man that's shot by a white cop, there's all of a sudden a push to have more colored people in the police forces, but the policies that these policemen are operating under are not changing. The training that these policemen are taking are not changing at all. So then you end up having the same black man, well, not the same black man, but the same officer, but now he's a black officer, still killing an unarmed black man. Like, it's not enough just to have cash. It's not enough just to have personnel in certain places. Like, we need institutions definitely need to be for us, by us, and I think that is the path towards reparations.
Yes, I see you.
But also the policies need to change too to allow us to thrive, exactly as KKS Gaming was saying earlier.
Yeah.
I want them to apologize for every June 19th for me. That needs to be a national holiday. That could be.
I mean, it's a holiday for us, but I need the president every June 19th to get up there and be like, "We the American people."
Yeah. We the American people.
Like for me, I want cash. I do want the cash, but treat it like you're applying for a scholarship. You know, you got to do stuff before the scholarship people be like, "Here's your money." That's what I want.
I'm not trying to write an essay for no reparations, yo.
I don't want to. No, but I want to be able to use this. And okay, let me just let y'all into Harley's life right quick. Growing up, I grew up in the hood. Anybody from Atlanta? I'm from Zone 3, straight hood. I'm from Zone 3 Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah.
My grandmother, I think my grandmother on my mom's side, pretty sure she was on drugs. Pretty damn sure, right? So reparations came, and she just got her check in the mail. You want to know what she gonna do with it?
What she gonna do?
She gonna go smoke that bitch. That's what she gonna do. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you giving us money. Oh, donut. Thank you.
Damn.
Sorry, y'all. I'm getting food. My bad.
Wow. We're over here. You gotta focus on these reparations, yo. Gotta focus on these reparations. They gave you a donut and now you good?
My bad. Yep. But I'm just like, I think giving us money, like right now, just flat out giving it to us will help some people. But for the majority of us, especially with us having the highest, I won't say the highest, us having a really high, crack rate, drug rate, fatherless home rate, like just shit that's happening in our community, just to give us that money is only going to like make it worse. Tila said it. Giving us money is probably going to make it worse.
I mean,
and that's just coming from me.
Some people will say that the government put those drugs in our communities to keep us destroyed in the first place, but
I definitely agree.
I'm being a conspiracy theorist over here.
Look, no, hashtag conspiracy tea. That's what Tila.
I need my aluminum foil hat on right now, looking like a Hershey Kiss.
That's what she was calling herself in the podcast. But no, I believe it. So my thing is they're gonna give us this money, knowing that some of us ain't gonna do nothing but go back out and smoke it, or go back out and ruin our credit even more. Like I just want them to set us up for success. I want, depending on what age they stop it at, if they're gonna do it by household or each individual person, I just want them to set me up for success. Show me what a stalker is. Show me what I should invest in. The Robinhood app can only do so much. You get what I'm saying? But that's just me. That's just me. Don't get me wrong. I still want my money. I want my money. What's that commercial? It's my money and I need it now. I want my money, but at the same time, I don't want to get this money and then go back into my bad habits. So that's a little bit of Harley tea as I bite this donut.
I want to ask chat this. Well, are you guys, so for those of you who believe that black people are owed reparations, would you accept a deal that the British gave the Jewish people after the Holocaust, where they were going to give them the whole island of Madagascar to be created as their Jewish state, but instead the Jewish people, they took Israel instead, like where Palestine, I'll say Palestine, Israel, they took that region, Mesopotamia if you want to call it that too. They took that region and made it their own country. Would you take that from the American government, where America was just like, all right, we don't know how to quantify this, so we got this big chunk of land out here in the middle of the Pacific or Atlantic Ocean. Take this, y'all can make this your land, create your country the way that you envision it. We're sorry for the past. Here you go. Would you guys be willing to accept that? You said, Nah, you got to talk with a full mouth. I can tell you, I would not.
So delicious.
I would not. Jermaine says, no thanks, I'll take my check. We got a check in the form of a stimulus bill in 2009. It was like $1,000. That wasn't good enough.
You got that check. Harley didn't get that damn check.
That was like billions and billions of dollars that was sent out to everybody. They did that. It's called Liberia.
It's called Liberia.
I'm here for Wakanda too.
Me too.
If there's actual vibranium there, for real.
Man, look, I'm just trying to marry T'Challa and have a baby named Shachala or whatever else we gonna name him. Chala. I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
But no. If they would have did this maybe back when slavery ended in the 18 something, when we can actually freaking know how to run a country, or at least know how to, trade and barter with a country, sure. But right now, hell no.
We're definitely better off now than we were back then.
No, we ain't.
We definitely better off. Oh, I don't, but there's some black farmers out there.
Okay, sure. Who know how to run a business? You know how to trade stock and business to business marketing. My marketing degree only goes so far. So who know how to get me onto what's the little trade damn shit in New York? Show me how to do that.
Tila, your country. Tila said, "I'll accept the country America as a country for reparations." Nah, y'all lost. 1812. Y'all lost. We settled this already. This is in the past now.
No, she's talking about for us. She's talking about for us, for them to hand over the country to us.
Okay.
And she said she British. Yeah.
I thought she was talking about as a British person, not a black person.
No, give me the one I already built. I built this one from the ground up. Give me this one.
Yeah.
You gonna start over.
So what if we got our own state? Okay, this is a great question for the podcast. If we could have our own state as reparations, what state are we choosing?
Colorado.
Or you say Colorado? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
One, Denver's gorgeous. 2, they really get nice seasons. And 3, marijuana is legal.
I mean, marijuana is legal in Cali too, and we can have the beach.
I ain't
in that
going
case,
to Cali.
We don't gotta be all high up in the mountains.
Why am I gonna go to California? That belongs to the Hispanic people. That's them. That's all them. That was them before since before America was even came. I mean, before Christopher Columbus brought his ass over here.
I mean, it belonged to the natives, but the Spanish took it, and then.
Come on, man. Come on now, for real.
Basically, like the Spanish people had their own revolution against Spain. Like Mexico was like little America.
Right here. California right here. You can't tell me that them and the natives, sure. You can't tell me they don't belong to them.
I'm taking Cali over Colorado any day. I mean, on the real, I'm gonna take New York. I'm just gonna take,
like Florida. They're gonna fall off the sides of the United States.
I'm taking everything east of the Hudson River and south of the top of Westchester. And I'm taking all of Long Island too. All y'all gotta get out. This is for our people now.
You gonna kick out everybody?
Taking all of them. Taking all of them. Or we can get Florida. I mean, but nah, the hurricanes are kind of crazy.
I would say no. They can cut Florida right on off and let it drift in the ocean. I hate Florida so much. I'm sorry for all my Floridians in chat. I hate your state.
She said, "Take Washington, take Seattle with the businesses in them." Yeah, and we would take all the Amazon and rule the world.
Yes, I will take Washington. I forgot Seattle was over there. But so all this conversation just brought me back to ancestry. Have you ever wanted to track your ancestry?
I did. My girlfriend actually got me a 23andMe, and I've been meaning to take it, but I wanted to record it when I did. I just haven't gotten around to it. But I did get my mom and dad ancestry DNA. My mom's being whack and hasn't taken the DNA test yet. My dad did.
Is she being whack or she being smart?
She's being whack. My dad did, and it turns out my dad is dark. Like, he's dark like my hair. But he's like 8% British and 4% Norwegian. So
wow,
that's kind of cool. I got a little bit of white privilege in me. So
just a little bit.
Maybe that's why I'm here where I'm at right now. Maybe that's why I was able to move and get a new car. Right. Yeah.
You're right.
A little bit of privilege. I'll acknowledge it. Can you?
No, I can't. I can't.
Have you had a DNA test yet?
I have not.
Ancestry DNA test.
Part of me wants to, and then the other part of me is like scared.
Scared of what?
Like, I'm about to go into it. Part of me wants to, just because like I know I have some I'm gonna call them freckles in my family tree, especially with my great grandmother. I think her mom was like Irish, or her dad was Irish, or some shit like that. But then so like I want to see like what I got in me or where I'm coming from. But Hey, I almost messed up your
silent
whole
acoustic.
Silent.
What it
I
do?
almost messed it up. But then the other part of me is scared, and I'm scared because let me give you the story. I love history. You can put me in any social studies history class and I'm gonna thrive.
Right.
But I've only enjoyed Asian culture.
Only?
European culture.
Mm.
I hate American history.
Mm.
And I have not dived into African history. And this is why. Don't get me wrong. The other POCs that are a part of us, like that other POCs that are not us, know their history. It's so deep and rich, and they know their culture and they know where their people are from. You know, granted, they're still people of color, but they know where they're from. Asians, they know they Korean, they know they from, they know they Chinese, they from the Qin dynasty, they from the Qing dynasty, they from whatever dynasty. Latin Americas, they know where they're from. They Aztec, they're Mayan, they know that, right? Black people don't know that. And it scares me because I'm going to get to a point, I know this, I'm going to get to a point in this ancestry DNA that it's going to stop. And it's going to stop because there is no records, and it's going to stop, and I'm going to feel incomplete. Like, I already feel incomplete, but going through this is going to make me feel more incomplete. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't make sense to other people, but it makes sense to me.
So you think that if you take this test that you're not going to find out what tribe you come from in Africa, or what European country your family might come from?
I think I'm going to take this test and they're going to be like, okay, well, such and such and such was a slave on this plantation under this general or under this person. And they came over, they came from a stop in the Caribbean and such and such and such. But any paperwork after that, we don't know. Because we didn't care. Because when they all wrapped us up from the different countries in Africa and just put us on a boat, it was just, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like they put this one is from Cambodia. Not Cambodia, damn. This one's from Cameroon. This one's from Sierra Leone. Like, they didn't do that. You get what I'm saying? They didn't keep that. So for me, it's just like, it's going to be heartbreaking. And this is just a Harley, like just Harley perspective. It's going to be heartbreaking for me because it's going to be like, I'm tracing all this back to see what culture I want to study because that's who I am and I don't know.
Well, I know there's a group called African Ancestry DNA who focuses directly on Black people and where we went from, how the diaspora split us up all across the world. Just go to Africa, it's in your soul. Yeah, your soul will guide you right to Wakanda. Anyway.
Exactly, right?
There's a group who's focused on exactly this because the other ancestry companies, they're more focused on Europe or Asia, but mostly Europe, like European ancestry. Like that's their main group that they test.
They keep documentation. They keep everything, So, of course, they're going to be focused on the one that has the most.
That's also the audience, too. That's who they're catered towards. So in order to cater towards Black people, you needed to intentionally be studying African peoples and African DNAs. So there are groups that are out there that are searching for that, but I can understand what you're saying because I was a little apprehensive too when I did when my dad did his DNA search. I was hoping that we'd be able to find a beginning, but to be honest with you, it's going to end somewhere. Like documentation is not forever.
Yeah.
And it's going to end somewhere, but for some people like us, it's going to end much earlier than others.
Exactly.
So,
and that is the part that, like, I won't say it frightens me, but that's the part I know that's going to make me sad. So it's just like
for my family, it ended at my great grandfather, my great great grandfather, who was a slave. But after that, after 1860s, nothing. I'd have to look to find my lineage, I guess. If I want to find my Black lineage, it ends right there. It just stops. Until my mom takes the DNA test, it stops. Nisi Reed, thank you for the host.
Thank you, Nisi.
Okay, I'm waiting for the music to stop and then I'm gonna go back on.
Oh, that's right. I can't hear it.
But when I looked, when I looked at the family tree, when I looked at my third cousins, the spectrum of colors is all over the place. There's some Hispanic in there. There's some Asian in there. There's a lot of white. And like when you go on the Ancestry DNA page, like you see all of America and you just see faces, all different kind of faces of third cousins. And I'm sure their lineage goes on and on and on and on. So I don't know. I think you just have to understand like our history and why it is the way it is. But that just means that we have to work harder. Like with all other aspects of life, we have to work harder. Like put in double the work for half the success. Put in double the effort for half the success. I think that's what it is. But if anyone, I always thought you had a mixture of culture side for us. Yeah, I do. Well, to my knowledge, my mom is black, my dad is black, and they're from West Virginia and Virginia respectively. But yeah, it gets more mixed prior to them. A lot prior to them. A lot of white. A lot of white. I just hope that it was consensual. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Yo, I'm gonna make fun of your family too. You find out. Throwing this shade at me.
So, I think I want to do it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stop being a little punk and I'm gonna go do it.
Yeah, do it.
That was one of the things that stopped me. Cause like, again, I go back to saying I love history, and I love seeing these different cultures. But then when it comes back to me, it's like, my culture gonna stop right in Georgia. It's gonna stop right now.
Well, it's not like it's gonna stop in the 1900s. It's probably gonna go back further than that, hopefully.
I have no faith. But that's just me. Like, seriously, y'all. I think everybody should go out and, if you want to, discover your history, discover your ancestors. And I think another biggest thing for me, Cyforce, is that, like I said, I want to know. I can study all of the African histories and the African cultures and stuff like that, but it's so many. Not saying that I won't do it. I will, but I would like to study my own. You know, like I want to be able to say my people came from wherever the hell I came from, and this is my culture. You know, these are my deities. This is this and this. I want to do that.
There's a proudness. I don't think proudness is the word, but there's a proudness. There's appreciation that you can have when you're able to talk about your culture that us as black people don't have, because our culture is so muddied. I wonder. I was gonna say I wonder if mixed people feel the same way, but if you know your lineage, then no, it's still different. Because I can't say like, you know, my people were kings here in this country, because I don't know. I can't say it. Can't say it.
I believe it was Queen Errol who said, like, I believe it's her son or her kid. I don't want to assume gender because I can't remember, but her kid, you know, father's side can trace it all the way back to like an earl or a king or something, she said. But then, you know, on mama's side, it's like, you know, I don't know.
So
I'm not mixed, so I don't know you guys' struggle. Tila can talk more about that. I don't know that struggle, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, Tila said that it's different as a mixed person. No doubt. I would love to hear your thoughts about it. And then Acoustic said also that his DNA, or hers, went as far back to Nigeria, England, Ireland, 17% of your DNA, which was shocking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My dad had 12% Scandinavian and English. So,
wow.
But he looks dark as a night. So, damn, did that get muddied up? That really got muddied. But I wonder, like, will this concept of being quote unquote mixed, will it disappear in the future generations?
Oh God,
because
no.
with like if I check my DNA test, it's not going to come up that I would be surprised if I was 70% African.
Yeah,
it's not going to come up as that. But when you look at me, like you say, oh, he got a little bit of something, but I would consider myself just black. Like my mom is black, my dad is black. I would just consider myself that. But if you look at my DNA, it's not. So I wonder, like, how long will the term being mixed race, will that continue? When we all just look brown, like just a box of brown crayons, you know?
I don't know, man. That goes back to, I don't know if it'll be a mixed race thing anymore, but it'll definitely be a colorism thing. It'll definitely be that. That's going to continue for always. So. Yeah, man. Reparations, ancestries.
Sorry for messing up that him-her thing, Acoustic. My bad.
We apologize for them, but I would have you say you have more African culture than you think. As Black Americans, your food and culture and communities has similar African traits. And as a half African, I see the similarities. So you do have culture. Thank you, Tila. We know we got culture. I know we do. But again,
you don't see the way we twerk?
What culture? Thank you. Some of us can't do it correctly, but we try, damn it.
I damn sure don't.
Look, damn it. But going into culture, this is going to segue into our next conversation that came up on the podcast that I love getting into gatekeeping and making people angry and shit. They were talking about female rappers and the hip hop culture of now. And somebody, I can't remember exactly who said it, but somebody was like describing why it only has to be like the number one person in the game. Why can't it be more than one? And the first thing I thought about was like that crab in a barrel mentality. How whenever we see somebody doing good, it's like, get your ass back down here. You're better than us. You know? Why is that? Especially with females. Why is that? From a male's point of view, you tell me what you think.
All right. I think because it's so deep in the spotlight because there are so few female rappers. But hip hop has always been a competitive sport, at least battle rapping. But most rappers today, they're not battle rappers, but they still see the music game as a sport. Like who can hit number one, who can hit number one more times, who can hit number one with more weeks, who has the better bars, etc., etc., etc. And I think it's put under a microscope harder than men because there's so few women who are rapping. So when there is a beef, that is the only beef that's taking place between female rappers. Compared to when there's male rappers, like there's the beef over here, beef over there, beef over here. This guy got shot, that guy got shot. You rarely hear about female rappers being shot over some hip hop beef, but you hear it with men all the time. So I don't really think it's a crab and barrel mentality. I think that's just the culture, that it's a competitive culture. Like hip hop is a competitive culture, but there's so few women that it's affecting percentage wise a lot more of them.
Okay, I can understand that, but Tila brought up something like that I really didn't even think about. In the 90s, we had hella female rappers, like my queen Trina, amazing. But then you also had Lil Kim, you had Foxy Brown, you had Queen Latifah, you had MC. You had so many female rappers, but I could never remember. And granted, they had their beef. Foxy and Lil Kim had beef. People had beef. But I can never remember like the amount of beef and like the amount of like sabotage that happened then now. Like the Nicki and Cardi, like whoever else, y'all. I'm sorry, Harley don't listen to that.
Nicki and Cardi's beef is not like Tupac and Biggie beef, like that.
No, it's actually not. No.
That's not Ja Rule and 50 beef either.
I get that, but okay, let's go back to what you said then. The competition between women is not that many of us. So then why would we stop each other from securing a bag when it's only so many of us here?
I can't answer that. It's something you'd have to ask them. But
look, I need to.
We can't deny though that hip hop is competitive. It's very, very competitive. It's not like country. It's not like R&B. It's not like rock and roll.
No, it's not, and that's what made hip hop amazing. Tila said it. Battle rapping in the 90s was amazing. Like I remember watching those shows. I remember watching ciphers and stuff like that.
Freestyle Friday.
Thank you. I remember this shit, and it's just like I get the beef is part of like having beef or having whatever is part of the industry. It's part of what hip hop is and what makes hip hop so amazing. I just don't understand the whole I gotta get mine over yours thing, because even when I go back to the 90s, all the collaborations, like granted Tupac, Biggie, they had issues, but keep in mind they were friends before they even had issues. Okay, keep that in mind. You get what I'm saying? So like I get that, but there was so many different collaborations between artists. It didn't just seem as much as it is now. And I guess somebody else brought up that social media plays a big part in it, which I understand. But I just, as women, I don't understand why we get so competitive when somebody else comes on the scene. Like, let's just get her bad, you get your bad, let's get bads together. So
I just want to dispel that it's not a woman thing. It's not a woman thing. Yeah. Because men are doing it. They're doing it more. There's more of them. They're doing it more. But what Jermaine just said, he said sometimes beef is required to secure the bag. Like, and it can even be a fake beef. Like what happens between Nicki Minaj and Miley Cyrus, that is so fake. There's nothing of those two women. They're not even in the same lane. Like, why are they even beefing with each other? So they can get their clicks up, and those clicks go into dollars. Jermaine says, what about the dozens of comedy style? Black culture has always had some aspect of tear each other down. Even one black church shades another black church on Sunday. Damn.
That's
I don't know about that level of shade. Damn. Y'all all worshiping Jesus.
I don't feel like it's been as much as a tear down as to stop somebody from getting their money. You know what I'm saying? Because like Eddie Murphy had issues with whoever, but Eddie Murphy would never like camp out somebody's comedy show to stop them from getting their money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Granted, 50 is just King Petty, so he does that shit. But
50 got time.
Look, he got all the damn
50
time.
got time.
That's just one of the other issues that I have with just within the Black community. It's like we spend so much time tearing each other down that we forget we can do this. We can have beef. We can poke fun. We can make fun. But let's all get money. That's just it. You said Bill did, Flame. I didn't know that. Thank you for show me them receipts though. I like receipts.
So wait, who's the latest beef? Who's the latest beef between rappers and how they stop each other from making money? I don't know about this.
The main one I can think of is Cardi and Nicki. Of course, that's the main one. But then you got Harley's about to show how black she not. Who is Cash Dog? You got she had beef with somebody, and Megan Thee Stallion's coming on scene. So now people trying to say, trying to pit her against Cardi, and not saying that Megan got beef, but it's just like they're staying community pitting people against each other, and it pisses me off. Nicki stopping Cardi bad. There you go.
I guess the only beef that I agree with was like when people were beefing with what's her name? The Iggy Azalea. When people were beefing with her because she didn't really have an appreciation for hip hop. She was just making music.
She does.
I felt that all the way. But I feel like if she was black though, she probably wouldn't catch as much heat. But since she is a white girl and because she has a body the way she does, it completely looks like cultural appropriation, and I can understand.
It is. I'm just sitting over here trying to figure out your.
I think Nicki stands here.
Black, then it's her culture.
Yeah, I was a big Nicki fan when Pink Friday came out. She was spitting on that. But outside of that, I stand Cardi all day. Cardi is her true, authentic self. I love her for it.
You know what? I stand individuality.
She's too authentic.
And I love it. I personally, I listen to all genres of music. Rap has always been at my bottom since the 90s left. So rap has been at the bottom. So I honestly cannot get behind a lot of the stuff. I just thought about the whole the whole female versus female mentality. It just happened to talk about that in the podcast. But if Megan Thee Stallion ever wants to do an interview, baby, my DMs are open. All the way. Just all the way. I love that girl.
Okay. Is she new? I never even heard of her.
Ooh. Are you what? Big old freak. Big booty, big old freak. You ever heard that song, Cypher? You were in Florida.
I've been working too hard, I guess. I've been working way too hard, streaming way too much.
Never mind. I forgot you. I got city
throw me a track. DM me a track, and then I'll take a listen. We can talk about it later.
I'm gonna DM you the whole video so you can enjoy her figure and everything else about
freak.
her.
So a little bit of a segue to those you guys who are in chat. How many of you guys are going to TwitchCon? If you are, just throw a Cookout email out there in the chat. I will be there in San Diego, September 26th to the 30th. I hope to see all your beautiful faces. So what else happened in the podcast?
I'm sorry. I'm eating this donut, y'all.
I got my pancakes and sausage and eggs just sitting here getting cold.
I'm
trying to resist.
Are you or you have a question? I see Pikachu.
He throwing an emote in there because he's going to TwitchCon. I hope to see you soon, Jermaine.
Oh. Let me see what else we talk about in chat.
Oh.
They talked about what did they talk about? The last thing I remember them talking about was the cancel culture. Where they didn't get much into it. What are your thoughts on this whole cancel culture?
Sometimes it is absolutely necessary. Like when Harvey Weinstein got canceled, that started a whole movement where men from now and hopefully till forever have to check themselves and the way they act around women.
Yes.
In all aspects of life, not just in the workplace, but in all aspects of life. I told you that we won't stop. Thought I told you. Camera's too zoomed in, but whatever. Thank you for the follow. I didn't even see. I was looking too hard. I couldn't even see. Brandon Black Weirdo. Thank you for the follow. I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling. I think cancel culture is absolutely necessary, but it's gotten to a point in some cases where it's stopping a conversation from being had that's necessary. So. I'm seeing, but I'm thinking more about, like, you know, like things that are happening in politics where people are like, oh, they need to be canceled. Actually, you remember Aziz Ansari at all and his situation?
Yes.
Okay, so
no, I don't remember the situation, but I do know him.
I know briefly his situation. So, it seemed in his situation, this happened like, you know, 2016, 2017 when Me Too was starting to start up. He brought a girl home and they had a fun night out, and he made sexual advances towards her. Like, he started to go down on her, and she wasn't feeling it, and so he stopped, and that was the end of the night. I don't remember if he was being like too persistent or not, but the way that it was described, it was like that they had a good date, and that he was being a little persistent, and he stopped, but it didn't get to the point where, like, you know, he assaulted her, and there was like a big push to have Aziz canceled because of that. Like this is, we're not gonna play any of Aziz Ansari stuff anymore. No more Master of None, no more comedy specials, none of that. And it's just like there's a big difference between what he did and what Bill Cosby was doing. Like, one is like, you know, he's being pushy, the other one is a predator. Like, there's a spectrum of this thing, and a lot of people are being canceled rather than just like you know, having them exist and learning from their mistakes. You know, it's like mistakes are beginning to not exist anymore.
So then, that segues into a question I had. It was brought up in the podcast. Queen Arrow talking about the little guy who got rescinded from Harvard. Have you seen that yet?
Oh yeah, the white kid from he was in the Parkland shooting. Yeah. His
acceptance was rescinded from Harvard because of some tweets that came up, and I think they were like fairly, you know, tweets like 2 years in his high school or whatever. Of course, him using racial slurs and other, you know, bad language. So what do you think about Harvard doing that? Because Arrow thought that no, let me stop saying what she thought. Go ahead.
Okay, so my thoughts on that is that, first of all, how did they find his tweets? Like, were they just thrown at Harvard? You know what? Just Twitter, like, here are some receipts.
The FBI, okay? I don't know. Twitter works better than the FBI. Twitter and the Beehive, the FBI need to hire them because they're gonna find every damn thing.
I went to New York Institute of Technology. It's not as prestigious as Harvard, but yeah, you know, I'm living my best life right now, so it did some work for me. He got denied from Harvard, and now from his own words, his life is ruined because he can't get into Harvard. Like, what did Harvard have that you can't get at Yale, or you can't get at Princeton, or you can't get at Cornell? You can't get at Stanford. Like, you only got rejected for one school, and without a doubt, he was throwing all kind of N-bombs just so he could be edgy, which is some real like privileged, affluent shit to be able to do. But his life is not ruined because he didn't get into that one school. I wouldn't say that he got canceled, or that he should be canceled. I think this is a great moment where he can learn from this mistake and learn how what he did 2 years ago fucked his life up, quote unquote. Got rejected from one school, please. But I think it's a great moment for him to learn from it and for it to carry with him through the rest of his life. Oh damn! Hey, Ruby Rose 88, thank you for the $5. My ears are getting blown out. Cardi, please.
Ever wants me to fall in love with them, that's my favorite movie.
Cardi, please. Yeah, so as Silent Acoustic said, he was accepted, and then they rescinded their acceptance letter because I guess Twitter had some receipts. But people of Twitter sent Harvard the receipts of him being edgy, quote unquote, just being racist, just being a proud boy, basically. And I think it should have happened. I think they did the right thing, and I think schools should make an example out of people when they're caught being out of line like that. His life isn't over. It's not like he's been barred from college, period. I think that would be wrong. He should still be allowed to have an education. But if Harvard doesn't want to associate themselves with him, good for Harvard.
Agreed. Now, some people were saying that, like, he apologized and he was young.
What does that mean?
You know, thank you. Okay, we're on the same page.
What? He apologized. What that got to do with anything?
Okay, then. You know what? This conversation was shorter than I thought it was.
I'm sorry for saying nigger, guys. I'm sorry for dropping these N-bombs. I didn't really mean it. I was just trying to be edgy. 16? I'm just 16. Right, I'm 18 years old now. I'm a lot more mature. I've been shot at, and it changed my whole life.
What some people are trying to say, right? You're 16. You're a little punk ass kid. kids are gonna be kids. I get that, right?
No.
I totally get that. But then at the same time, no matter how old you are, there are certain things that you just don't do.
Yeah,
there are certain things. Tila, I was about to go straight into that. Thank you. 16 is not an excuse.
Story mode, babe. That's what it is.
It's not an excuse. If anything, you 16. You've been in school long enough. You have taken so many social sciences, so many, class. You have teammates and classmates that are black, that are gay, that are whatever. So you know what you're doing.
Facts. Jermaine, I'm gonna go look. Keep going, Harley. I'm gonna look up that name for you.
What name?
Parkland Survivor.
Yeah. I was like, so you know what you're doing. And so my issue with him, and it's not even really a big issue, it's like that affluent teen who got off because he was so rich that he didn't know anything. Like, excuse the fuck out of me. My issue with him is like, when were you gonna apologize? Yeah, you apologize now, but you only apologize because you got caught.
His name is Kyle Kashuv. I'll spell it in chat for you guys.
You only apologize because people caught you.
So,
you know what I'm saying? You didn't apologize when it happened.
So there is an argument to be made that his tweets came from before he was shot at the school, and that shooting probably did turn his life around. He probably is not as see that racism that him trying to be as edgy as he was complete and total bullshit, and then he's turned a new leaf. But I will still say, even though he went through that situation, this is a great moment for him to learn that what he did in the past does not excuse him from his behavior at all.
Thank you.
And the headline is Parkland Survivor Gets Denied from Harvard. So, like, they are trying to use that situation and be like, he was in this traumatic situation. He should be allowed to be pushed through. No, despite this little blemish on his record, he should be allowed to go to the school. If Harvard doesn't want to associate themselves with that, they don't have to. And I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah. My thing is, yes, the situation that he was in was, like, traumatic. And it was sad. And it was scary. And I know, like, that's a big thing. But at the same time, think about how many other people go through traumatic situations. I'm black. I'm in a traumatic situation every damn day of my life.
Damn.
Every damn day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up being shot at by the police.
God damn. Well, that's a podcast episode in itself.
Well, no, yeah, thank you. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so for me, when that happened, it's like, yes, I see this traumatic experience.
It's above me now.
I get it.
It's above me now.
Above me now.
I
get it.
He called me nigger on Twitter. It's above me now. I can't.
But I'm just, even if after you went through that and you feel like you had to change something, like Tila said, you could have either deleted the tweets, or you could have went back and be like, hey, y'all, so this experience happened and it's made me realize, I've done some fucked up shit in my life, and I just want to apologize to my classmates, which I'm pretty sure some of them was black that died. I want to apologize to them for these words that I said. I want to apologize to whoever. You could have done that, and that could have covered your whole fucking ass. But you didn't want to apologize until you got caught, until now you're in trouble. And don't use your dead peers in the situation to, like, bring you to the forefront. How dare you?
Big facts.
That's just me. Sorry.
I just want to let it be known that his life is not ruined just because he ain't get to Harvard. There's much worse things that can happen to you than not going to Harvard. I didn't get my reparations yet. Yeah. Is my life ruined? Kind of.
Anyway.
I can always use that check.
I got into Yale and still couldn't go because I don't have money. So I'm in a traumatic experience. Help me out, Twitter.
Yo. Yeah, I know. I need these Twitter detectives to be on my side. When I get denied from my next job, I need Twitter to go in there and dig up all kind of dirt and be like, if you don't want this to be out here, outside, beyond our DMs, just I start tomorrow. That's all I want to say. Still waiting on my mule.
Tila said experience the Black American experience, and he's still white. He's still white.
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough when it actually happens to you.
Tough balls. Tough shit. Sorry.
I wonder how he feels about that now. I wonder how he feels about white privilege.
He probably thinks,
because he just got his white privilege card revoked.
He probably thinks it doesn't exist.
Yo, shout out to Harvard for rescinding his approval.
Thank you, Harvard, for the one good thing that you've done in years and years of your bullshit. Thank you, Harvard.
Yeah, community college will take his money. It's still good money.
He can go to any other school.
So, okay, this is a good question. So if he goes to community college for 2 years, Should Harvard accept him after that? If he goes to community college and shows a little bit of progress, should he be accepted, or should he be like canceled from Harvard completely? Like, how could this guy redeem himself from his 16-year-old past?
I honestly think now that Harvard has like rescinded, that it'll be stupid for them to be like, all right, you can come now, because then now that's going to be a whole community on their ass. Like, no, Harvard, you said no, and you said what you said, so let it be what you said, and then move on.
Well, what if he was out there in Black Lives Matter protests, raising his fist, helping raise money for it, buying poster boards, buying tape, buying face masks for people so if they get pepper sprayed? Could he come back in?
Doing a small thing that your ass should have been doing.
Damn.
Thank you for doing a little thing that you should have been doing.
What if he was posting bail for people who got arrested at the protests? Is he still not allowed?
Kim Kardashian, you're still canceled too.
Damn.
Like, no, because like for me now, you doing all this is to like kind of show, look, I'm making up for it because y'all caught my ass. Look what I'm doing. I'm getting.
Although that's like, a lot.
There's a difference between being genuinely sorry and actually trying to make progress than putting on a donkey and mule show.
So Tila says he needs to go to HBCU. Facts.
I'll accept it after that. Go to Howard. I sure will. I sure will.
They will whoop his ass in the shape.
Look, I'll bring him a whole plate from the cookout. Go to Howard.
But is he allowed to the cookout, or is he just getting a?
No, he can't come to the cookout. No, he can have a plate.
Will it have aluminum foil on it?
No, it'll be wrapped up in saran wrap.
Oh, damn.
I'm not racist, y'all. I swear.
Damn. Yo. Why did we go? Oh, excuse me. I got a hiccup. Why did we go so hard on Rachel Dolezal? Like, wasn't she doing some good work? I understand she was impersonating being black and had a pretty high position up in the NAACP. But was she doing a good job? Like,
I don't know. I think the biggest thing from her is that, like,
she quarter pieces of nothing.
Yes.
Yeah, he only get in the middle.
But that's it. I think the biggest thing with her is that, yes, she was doing good work, but she was taken away from actual representation of people that could be doing the same good work. She was so high up in NAACP, but I mean, like, you're lying about who you are, so how much can you care about us? I would much rather her continue to be a white woman ally in the space. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that just because she white, she couldn't be the head of her section's NAACP. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is, why are you lying to me? America's been lying to me since I've been born. Why are you going to continue that?
Yeah, she got canceled. Like, I think the last they've seen her was that she was doing hair in a beauty salon with like a black-owned beauty salon, doing braids. You know what?
I mean, live your truth, girl. If you want to enjoy these struggles, by all means, can I be white? Can I take her place that she would have had? Let me see the difference.
And she was a pasty white woman too.
Yes, like.
I feel appreciated. I don't feel disrespected. I feel appreciated. I wish I could see that appreciation more. Like,
I would say, I honestly don't know if I feel disrespected or appreciative. I feel like I just don't care.
Yeah.
But I feel like for her to care that much, she could have done what she did, but not overstep.
Yeah, it's overstepping when you do blackface for life.
Yeah, there's an Asian lady down here who got raised by black parents. She wasn't being extra. Exactly. Like, you can be, if you want to be black girl, okay, sure. You know, whatever. I'm not that type of person to where I'm just like, you can't ever be black. Girl, live your truth. But at the same time, understand your background and understand what you are. Yes, you want to be, you know, but you're not a black girl. So don't take that representation from a for real black girl. That's just me.
So, have any of you guys seen E3? I know there was like we had a lot of E3 coverage.
She can never go back to being right. She has to do it forever.
I mean, she did now. She's white now, but she'll always be known as Rachel Dolezal. Like, not even...
Always.
That's a title. That's not even her name. That's her title. Mm-hmm. Like, her kid's gonna be called Rachel Dolezal. Did any of you guys see E3? Any portion of E3? I know my favorite part was Nintendo, especially when I saw that there's a black water trainer. Nessa, I was definitely feeling that. I mean, she's black skin tone, but she looks Japanese, like super duper Japanese. But still, even that little bit of representation went a long way for me. How did you guys feel about that? Seeing that on E3 or seeing it on Twitter, wherever you consume media?
I thought it was about time because the only one I remember, Brock, is the only black other person I remember.
But is he though?
Brock was black. I don't care. Brock had like 8 brothers and sisters. He was the oldest. He
That's a stretch. Oh my god, that's a stretch. This is why we need reparations. You're making a case for reparations right now. All this terrible lifestyle that he's living that makes him black. Nah, I don't know about that. He look Mongolian or something. I wouldn't go African.
No, man. I grew up just knew. Oh, Brock was Aborigine. Okay, I'll take that too.
Brock was Aborigine. Bruno was Aborigine. That was the Elite Four fighting trainer.
See, look now. Come on.
I'm in it. I'm with it.
When I saw Nessa, first of all, the first thing I saw was blue highlights. So I was like, yes for them tracks. Yes. That was just me though. But I think she's gorgeous. I'm happy to see her. I'm not happy about what Twitter did to her. Not happy about that at all.
Nah, you know what? It's so negative, and I honestly don't even want to touch. I personally don't want to touch on it because that negativity will always exist, and they literally do that to get on our nerves. I would like to talk about something else though.
Okay.
Like, I never understood like why the Japanese choose to include us in their art, because there's not a lot of like Japanese is it homogeneous? Very homogeneous society where like I think like 90% of people who live in Japan, maybe 95% are Japanese and Japanese born.
Yes.
But like in all different kinds of anime, you see representations of darker skinned people, but not like, just tan, like black people. And over here in America, like it is very appreciated. Like I can't see a black guy who was born in the 90s who didn't grow up on Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon or Dragon Ball. And you even see it in our rap music too, where there's a lot of references to it. But I never understood why those artists chose to include us in their work. I mean, am I mistaken it? Are they including us in their work? What do you think about it?
I think they are. I think I don't want to like sound bad, but I think it's a business move.
It's a business move? Okay.
They know where their money at. They know that having a representation and a character that somebody can see themselves in is gonna do nothing but put.
A Decepticon is taking over your computer. You cut up a lot. Can you try it again?
Oh no. All right, let's try this again. What I said was, what did I say? Oh, they know where their money is. Like they know what they need to put in their shows. That diversity to get it to sell. Because I'm not gonna lie, from me personally, like everybody knows my favorite anime is Naruto. Like that is my all-time favorite anime. But you want to know why?
Because they had a whole tribe of black people.
A whole
village of black people. Oh
my god. One of the strongest fucking Kages was black with blonde cornrows. Like,
yeah, right? Like
not only that, my other anime that I love was Outlaw Star. Asia Clan. You can't tell me that she wasn't black. Okay, I know she was a cat and whatever she was, but she was strong and she was funny and she was adorable.
Yeah. Like even they got like Tosin in Bleach, the blind guy. Doesn't he have dreads? Like they're putting black people in there. They're not just putting dark skinned Asians.
They know where their audience is.
Yeah, and like I can never wrap my mind around it. Like why are they able to do it so easily, but Americans can't? And we actually live here, but they struggle with that so hard sometimes.
Tila, you're right. She said they think black people are cool and fetishize black people. You're right. You are right. You're right.
I don't think they understand race like that.
They don't understand. I don't know. You should watch Black in Japan. I have watched that. You are right. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Oh.
But I've been fetishized my whole life. So it ain't nothing.
I do watch Black in Japan on YouTube. I watch some of his interviews. He's like, this is the melanated experiences. I watch it a lot, and I think that could be a conversation for another day. But a lot of their experiences, they say that there is racism there, but it's not institutionalized like American racism. It's more
media, what they see.
It's more like for them, for the interviews I saw, they said that it was more on an individual basis. It wasn't like, businesses were not allowing Black people to do things or things like that. But I don't know. I just want to shout out to all the Japanese artists out there making us feel appreciated. Y'all don't have to do it, but y'all do it anyway, and we love you for it.
Yeah, they do have whitewashing, but I would love to get another like person podcast or somebody from a different race on here to talk about us and stuff, because like I said, I can only talk about what I know, but to have another POC from the Cookout, I think that'll be a cool something we can do. We'll have to think about that. That would be awesome.
Educate us, please.
Yes, please come in my Discord. But yeah, so E3, yes. I just want to talk about my husband, Keanu Reeves. I love him. Are you excited for Cyberpunk? Are you gonna play?
I'm alright. I was excited for when they had Banjo-Kazooie coming to Smash.
Yeah.
I was excited for Breath of the Wild 2. That looked fire.
Never played.
Excuse me. I'm excited for. I gotta do more research into it. Project Scarlet and Project Orion from Microsoft and Bethesda. Those were two very promising projects that were completely undersold. I don't know if E3 is just getting whacked or if I'm getting older, but that E3 didn't stand out to me. The biggest splash on E3 was the 06-07 E3 when PS3 and Xbox 360 was announced in the same conference. That was nothing's been able to even come close to that since. And I think the companies need to just come together and do it for the people. Just do it for the people. Announce these things at the same time, have a competition. We will spend our money.
You're right. I definitely will. Because Borderlands know exactly where to put my money at, because I definitely went and pre-ordered Borderlands 3 as soon as I knew it was available.
Yeah. Shout out to all the white CEOs out there who choose to have people represent their games that don't necessarily represent them as a person. So, for example, Telltale series, how they had Lee as a main character, black male lead. They had Clementine, who I think she's half Chinese or half Korean, half black, but you wouldn't really know unless you saw her parents in the first game, because she doesn't really look it. But yeah, like game studios like that who choose to have black people at the forefront, and even though it doesn't represent their studio, I love it. I'm with it. Thank you.
Somebody in chat, please tell me the name of this game. But it's a game coming out. And it's almost like that movie Looper, where it's we got D&D and 15, got it. It's that movie Looper where it's somebody's coming back from the future to kill themselves, but it has two main black leads, a boy and a girl. I cannot remember the name of that game, but when I saw that trailer, I stopped for a minute, because I was like, are they black or is it just really dark? And the fact that I have to do that tells you that we've come a long way in games, and we still got a long way to go, because we haven't had a game with a black lead in forever.
Yo, that's a good question. My girlfriend asks me this all the time. My girlfriend is Filipino, and she came here, I want to say in 2014, maybe 2014, 2015. And she asked me all the time, how are all these people considered black? Being black is on such a spectrum. So she'll point out somebody like Samuel Jackson. Is he black? Easy. Yes. Obama, is he black? Yeah, even though he's half white, half black, he's considered black. Steph Curry, is he black? Yeah, he's black, but he's super light skinned. Blake Griffin, is he black? He's a quarter, but he's black.
Have you told her about the one drop rule?
I did. I think we started off this podcast talking about that too. And so I wanted to hand that to chat. I wanted to think of some people who look in between, and would we consider them black or not? So Steph Curry is a great example. His mom and dad are both light skinned, but they look black to me. They look like they have very dominant African features. They have dominant European features too.
Yeah.
Y'all consider him black?
Yep.
What about Klay Thompson?
Yep.
She said, Tempted Tila says, "Oh, don't trigger me." I want to hear what you got to say. Tila. Because in America, I don't know how it is, what it's like in Britain, But like in America, one drop, literally, if you look a little bit of features, you're just considered all black, and that's it. It's end of conversation.
Yep, that's it.
So
one drop. All you need is one drop. She said it's not like that in the UK.
Yeah, I don't want. America's backwards when it comes to that. So there's this.
America's backwards, period. But
there was this documentary on Vice where it's focused on this white dude named Tiago. He's going to Morehouse College. He's like one of three. He's like one of three white kids in his class going to that college, and Vice is trying to focus on why do you want to become a Morehouse man when that's typically reserved for black men. And when there was like a group of black people talking about should they continue to let non-black traditional black students into the school because of money. And when you look at the students, they're of all shades of color, but they all have African features, but they're all shades of color. And my girlfriend was like, how are they all considered black? Like in my country, we would say that they're mixed because, you know, the Philippines was, ruled by the Spanish, and they had their class system where you had the natives at the bottom, then the mixed race, and then the Spaniards at the top. So I thought that was very interesting because it wasn't something that I really thought of because I'm just used to always associating someone who looks a little African is just considered black. And that's the end of the conversation. So I definitely wanted to hear from the people. Jermaine says black is an approach and a way of life as well as a phenotype. Definitely. That is a fact because this might be controversial, but people from other countries who are African, when they come here to America, they don't consider themselves black. And when you compare their culture to ours, like the way we act, compare the way they act, I wouldn't consider them quote unquote black either. And so that's not necessarily a bad thing.
I would say for me, black is African American. So your people were born here. So like for me, people like black people from Britain, they're not black. Like they're black, but they're not our black. You get what I'm saying? They are whatever you are. So like Tila, I believe she's half Guyanese. So okay, you're from Britain, but you're Guyanese. You know what I'm saying?
Ghana.
Like I know I'm supposed to say you're black, but black for me is like you from America black. That's just for me. I don't know if that's correct or not, but I know that's how I see it.
Black American is exactly right, Tila. Black American.
I'm sorry, that's right, Tila. You're mixed race. I was just talking about one half of your race. Sorry. I know that's a touchy subject for her.
I think it says "Hey Boo."
Who said "Hey Boo"?
That emote is super small on my screen, so I had to zoom up all the way in order to see it.
And she said, "I would say I'm African British." Okay. See, yeah.
Black is just a descriptor. The nationality is another thing. Big facts. I would say, I think Jermaine was trying to hit on this. Like, black is it's more like a culture for us here. Like, yeah. But that's because we don't, as you were saying earlier about ancestry DNA, most of us don't know where to trace our history to. Like, we don't know how far back it goes. It just kind of disappears at a certain date. And so we've made a culture of our own, and we called it a color. And unfortunately, a whole bunch of people in this world look like that color. So it's confusing as hell. But I have to say,
people outside the U.S. are ethnic groups first. That is very true. But that goes back to, I think, just what you just said. We don't know what our ethnic group is, so we just black. We dark.
Well, I would say people in America consider themselves their ethnic group first too. It's just that our group of people, we don't know what our ethnic group is. Because someone from Senegal, I think they would say they're way different from someone who's from Nigeria. But if those two people were here in America, they're just black people to everybody else. So they're just Africans.
Yeah. Heritage leads for us in the UK. I'm glad y'all know y'all heritage. I'm glad you do.
So
you know what you can say.
If somebody who was Southern, super Southern from Texas were to move to Great Britain and become a citizen, what would their title be? Like, would they just be British? Would they be American British still?
No, they're black and they're expat.
Expat?
Expatriate.
Whatever they want.
From America living in another country. Whatever they want. No.
Okay. Because I would say
we got 8 minutes. We got 8 minutes for D&D. So they technically would be Black American.
We gonna wrap it up.
Yeah. Guys, we can definitely continue this conversation in the Discord because I would like to know. I when I lived in Germany, I saw Black German people or darker German people, and I mean, I would just be like, I'm pretty sure they're African because that's where I think they would come from. But so, educate me why Sim talks. I don't think they're ready. Huh?
I guess that's the person doing D&D.
Oh, okay.
We got 2 days to go for this fundraiser. I'm looking at it at the top. It says $450 out of $3,500. We got 2 days to go. Well,
you guys, go ahead. You can talk about the fundraiser.
I know that it's a fundraiser for us to be able to act autonomously and have bigger and better shows and be able to increase our production value for the Cookout. So that's why we were having this whole weekend dedicated towards it. But where that money is going to go, and
so the money is going back into the Cookout. So from what Tila said in the podcast, the fundraiser is basically so that we could put the money back into the community. We can pay our artists, we can pay people that do stuff, we can pay writers. It's so that we could try to make the Cookout almost like a functioning entity. I think she said that we want to try to do like a Cookout con or whatever they would call it. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you put in money, you have to make money, you have to get money in order to make money, you have to spend it in order to make it. So it's to put money back into our community. So FUBU, for us, by us. So that's what it is.
Yo, if we get that reparation check, we can get this Cookout con going much quicker than we thought. Especially if all of us put 10% of our reparations check to this, however much it is.
We didn't already say what I need to do with my reparations check. I'm in debt.
What bill you paying first?
School.
Yeah, that ass, right?
School. I need to pay that off right now. I am tired of them sending bills to me.
And to everybody, to all these presidential candidates who's talking anything less than student loan forgiveness, I ain't trying to hear it.
You right. You're right.
Because this whole business model that we have of students going to college, going into like 6 figures worth of debt, and then paying it off for the rest of their life, that got to stop. It got to stop.
6
so
figures worth of debt.
We need a hard reset and to redo the system. None of this. Oh, you can refinance your loans. No, fuck that. We need a hard reset and restart this cycle over again. No.
I'm like, in debt, reform. And still can't find a career in my field. So.
What'd you get a career? Degree in? What'd you get a degree in?
My degree is in communications with an emphasis on public relations and marketing.
Public relations and marketing? So, so what can you do with that?
So I can go into PR. I can go into
marketing.
Internal communications. I can go into marketing. I can also, what I want to do is take it out into the gaming world and take that into like player relations and businesses and partnerships, like how Twitch does their partnerships and things like that. I can use my degree for that. But it's all a matter of like getting in, and people want you to have 5 years experience as soon as you graduate. So yeah, man, that's another conversation for another day.
Can you find a way to finagle your 5 years or however long it took for you to graduate from school to turn that to experience?
You can, but then again, that goes into I went to a PWI out here.
What is that?
A predominantly white institution, and
that's not just an institution.
Huh?
That's not just an institution.
No, I mean you got HBCUs, you got PWIs. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, but so I went to one out here, and like the level of resources that are made for some of us versus some of them is not the same. Prime example, I'm a first year college grad, first person in my family to go to school, to go to college and finish it, right? I knew nothing about internships. I knew nothing about work study, nothing like that. But then you get other kids out here who parents have degrees and have this that told them to do internships. I had to work. I had 2 jobs. No, I had 3 jobs in school. So I had 3 jobs, no car. Where was I going to balance an internship? So it's such a competitive market, but it's so unfair, and to expect people to be able to have that coming right out of school. Oh, you didn't do this. Well, yeah, because one, I had to eat, I had to sleep, I had to have somewhere to live. I'm by myself.
It sounds like Tila wants us to work harder to raise some money so she can cut you a check and put your marketing and advertising skills to use. So that's what I got from that SMH down there in the chat box. So she's just like, girl, you got a job. You just got to raise the money for it.
Thank you. But no, seriously, thank you to everybody that has donated so far. Like Tila said, this money right here is already 2 years worth of website. It's already a couple of video editing. Thank you guys so much. We really do thank y'all. Just for being here, coming to the podcast, listening to us, being in the Discord, being part of the family. thank y'all so much.
Big facts. And if you want to keep having entertainment catered to you, for us, by us as Black people, feel free to donate to the ticker above. You could just click at the donate ticker below the stream, and you'll see that number go up by however much you choose to donate, whether it be a penny, whether it be $1, whether it be the whole 3,500 grand. Not 3,500 grand, but $3,500. Please and thank you. It's very much appreciated, because we would like to keep this going for years to come.
Agree. Do you want to sign off telling the people where you're gonna be at and stuff like that?
I don't know where I'm gonna be at. So I'm gonna be at I'm gonna be in Brazil actually, July 3rd. From July 3rd to July 15th. One of my good friends is graduating med school and is inviting all of her American friends and other people from around the world to come to Brazil to celebrate her becoming a doctor, and we're gonna party hard for the next 4 days, so it's gonna be great. And I'm gonna be doing that, and then for the rest of the week, I'm going to be visiting other friends I got in Brazil, because there was like an exchange program in my school, and for 4 years, a lot of Brazilians came and went and had a year of free education from their country, and I made a lot of good friends, and I haven't seen them since 2012, so I'm gonna go out there and go visit them. I got this new job, This new job is killing.
In the Discord, seriously.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to vlog that, and I had no intentions on coming back until after that trip, but I couldn't let you guys down. Like, every chance I've had to raise money for the cookout, I've taken it with this whole move for me moving cities and transitioning to this new job and whatever. So I'm definitely here for you guys, and I hope to catch you guys at TwitchCon in San Diego, September 26th to 30th.
As for Harley, you guys can catch me over at Mixer. Probably actually going to be streaming today. You can also catch me if you're coming to Atlanta. I should be going to Dragon Con and also AWA, which is Anime Week in Atlanta. Please come and say hey. Probably going to be doing some vlogs and stuff like that. But anytime you guys want to drop by the Playpen, come and speak. I'll be so happy to have you. And then, of course, I'm always in Discord too. But yeah, man, I think that's it for me, Cyforce. What about you?
Yeah, so if you want to catch me on any social media, if you see the name Cyforce, that is most likely me, unless it is like a really shady website. Then that's definitely not me, someone impersonating me. But you can catch me on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all at Cyforce. You see it right there below. You can catch Harley Quinn the same at Harley Quinn with 2 N's. It's not like the Joker's secret letter. 2 N's and a Y. That's Harley Quinn. You can catch her over there, all social medias. You can even catch me on Snapchat too. That's me. I'm gonna add you back though.
Oh man, I forgot.
I'm just gonna, be browsing through Instagram stories and Snapchat stories and just seeing what you've been up to. But I don't really post there that much. But I was gonna say, actually, on my Instagram, I do post a lot. I post my new red Mustang GT. Feel free to salivate over it if you want to. I love it. That's my new baby.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
But you guys stay tuned. We got the D&D podcast coming up like right after this. D&D's amazing game. Please stay tuned and watch that. And that's it for me.
See you guys next month. This has been the Cookout Podcast Extra. Peace out.
Bye.